All right. So, welcome back to the On Becoming Sovereign podcast, where we talk about self abandonment, what it takes to come home to ourselves, and really let go of the strategies that aren't working that have been running our lives. So, I'm excited to introduce our next guest, Renee Warren. And a little bit about Renee. Renee is an entrepreneur, speaker, podcast host, and the founder of the Pink Skirt Project. She helps purpose driven women entrepreneurs build bold, visible businesses through community, mentorship, and strategy so they can finally take their big leap and live unapologetically. And I'm excited to welcome Renee. So, welcome.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for being one of my first people.
There we
And
go.
yeah, before we talk about, confidence and all those good things, if people were to peek in your life right now, Renee, you've launched a business, you're about to travel the world,
Mhm.
what would they see?
Sleepless nights, hot flashes, grumpy kids.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the truth of all of this. The idea of world schooling our kids, so getting on a plane and traveling the world, it's so dreamy. People keep saying, "Oh, it's the dream." It's been a decade in the making.
Wow.
It's been every year. My husband asking, "Is this the year? Are we going to do it?" And I finally said yes because everything was just the right time. There was the right time for certain things.
Yes.
But if they were to peek under the hood, they would see that here's a woman who's 6 foot tall that loves chocolate, that loves her kids and her family, that is unapologetic about her dreams and visions, who loves driving fancy cars and having fancy things. But that was not the old Renee. The
Right.
old Renee would just shy away from the spotlight, would shy away about being seen because I did not have the confidence. And I will say it's only as of late that all of this stuff, this big downloads kind of cracked me open. And now, leaving the world of PR because I was a public relations agency owner was probably the most liberating thing I've ever done.
Right.
And I'm here today and I'm just like, I just love my life. I love the people in my life. I love what I get to do every day. I love that I get to go home at the end of the day whenever I want to be with my kids. Because
Yeah.
they're homeschooled now, I could stay home and then just be with them in between like coaching calls and recordings.
I love it. That's amazing. And yeah, I would love to know more about the confidence journey. There you go. See, real life hot flashes, the
All the
confidence
time.
journey that you've been on. So, I mean, you said something right now. You said that was not the Renee of before, and then now here's the Renee you've stepped into. You're living unapologetically. What did it take to get to that place?
Okay, so people think it's like one thing. I just woke
Right,
up one day and I'm this woman now who just loves everything about my life. I appreciate everything, but for the longest time, I did not feel like I deserved everything. So I've been an entrepreneur for 25 years, started a restaurant when I was 17, did that for 4 years, have had no debts, and did not realize that was not normal. But got some really good money advice when I was younger. And then I was always like this silly girl, the goofy girl. I was never the smart girl in school. I was never the pretty girl in school. I was just there. And in order for me to feel like I fit in, I always needed to be like the nice girl, the patient girl. And I had great group of friends in high school, but there was always like something about me that just I lacked the confidence. So when I went to college, all of a sudden all these boys that I didn't grow up with in a small town were paying attention. And I was like, wait
right,
a second, guys actually like me. This is weird. So of course I did not know how to handle any of these
right.
situations, but I lacked the confidence. And even throughout college, I didn't do well. Did end up graduating on the dean's list because I pushed the last year. But it's almost like I just wanted to stay mediocre because staying there, staying in the middle, meant that there was no pressure to be the best. There was no pressure to have the spotlight on me. And I wasn't losing, so I was still paying the bills.
Right,
And it was very comfortable. But when I looked at the people that I admired in my life, they weren't in the middle. They
right.
were the ones that were doing the scary things and they gave no craps what other people thought about them.
Yeah.
So it
Oh,
got me
for sure.
curious, like how how do they do that? They're not the most smartest. They're also not the most beautiful women in the world, but they have energy. They have charisma. They can captivate an audience. They have this aura around them whenever they're in a room. And I wanted that because I understood this, like this notion of abundance. And it was really woo for me for the longest time because I'm like, well, just if I believe it, then all the money will just show up in my bank account.
Right.
If I believe it, the man of my dreams will come down an escalator right into my arms. True story about when I first met Dan.
Really?
But yeah, but really, it's if you truly do not constantly, consistently do the work on yourself and face the ugliest, stickiest, grossest part of your trauma, whatever that is, you can never believe in a great life.
Yeah.
And lucky for me, my trauma was like small t trauma, but it had compounded over time.
For sure.
The biggest thing that I talk about that was like the needle moving moment in my life that I am totally open to talking about was getting a nose job. And it sounds like a crazy thing, but there was this thing on my face that I hated for 30 years. I hated to do podcasts. I'd only like look straight on. I didn't want people to see my profile. I would
Right.
not get on a stage because that's the only thing I thought people saw.
Yeah.
I was so self-conscious about it, and I finally convinced my husband because I'm like, the only person I need to be on board with this is Dan.
Right.
He finally said yes, and we went. In April of 2023, I got rhinoplasty in Vancouver, and it's finally now like the inflammation is settling. Actually, was it 2024? I can't even remember when I went.
That's wild. Yeah.
I think it was last year. My gosh. Anyway, and now when I look in the mirror, I don't see the thing that I was so self-conscious about. I don't see the thing that I was bullied about endlessly in middle school.
Right.
It's gone. And with it left all those stupid stories about not being good enough, smart enough, fast enough, and entered this new paradigm of Renee,
Right.
this new era, as Taylor Swift might say.
New era.
And I'm like, I wouldn't be the person that would say, oh yeah, go subscribe to all of these like beauty enhancing opportunities. If it's what you want to do and it's really on your mind, think about it. You know, have conversations with friends. For me, it was on my mind for 30 damn years.
Yeah, it's a long
And I go,
time.
now's the time. We got to do this. So that was like the big physical thing. But the transformation really started before that because before that, I felt like I didn't deserve it. And now I'm like, I love being on stage and I love being in the spotlight. I also need a lot of rest after all of that, though.
Right. For like the introvert in you, you need.
Oh,
the-
yeah.
Yeah.
The introvert in me is like, I love people, but I also love not having people around.
Yeah, that chance to recharge. I think you touched on something super important too that, you know, I remember someone telling me once, we can only rise to the level that we're capable of receiving, which means, you know, if you want to receive abundance and you don't believe it, you're always going to block yourself. If you want this perfect relationship, you want to call in somebody, but you don't believe you're worthy of it, you're going to self-sabotage at every turn you take. And so if you want to get up and be on stage, but you don't believe you're worthy of it, then you won't achieve it, right? So like you're saying, it's breaking through that, looking at our shadows, looking at ourselves and saying, what is the thing that's stopping me from getting in those rooms, getting on those stages? And it's always ourselves. It's always some version of
always
ourselves in the way.
It's the stupid stories we keep playing in our head.
Yeah.
And that for some people, it's been playing for so long that they actually don't know the truth.
Yeah.
And they're afraid to face this. Like, oh gosh, maybe like there's a woman that I did a rich girl energy session with last week. Yes. My God, time goes by so fast. And she thought she was showing up for an hour and a half of talking about like restructuring her offers and her marketing. And the whole call had everything to do with having to go and face the trauma of her childhood, which was calling up her father and having a serious conversation with him.
Right. Yeah.
That was it.
That's
She
it.
I had no clue this is what was going to happen. I had no clue this was the direction.
Yeah.
And when we think, like, the reality of starting a business now, it's like easier than ever.
Right.
Or growing a business. It's really just that you can't You can't scale and you can't automate. Like AI can't automate you having the discipline to show up and grind every single day.
Right.
Like that is a decision you have to make. You have to believe in the thing enough to actually want to pursue that. And part of me too was that when I was running my PR agencies, I hated the industry.
Right.
It was just so numbing. It was so, you put all this effort in. I remember like writing these beautiful pitches and doing like hours of research to send an email, and then the email bounced saying this email no longer exists.
Right. You're like, why?
A half a day's worth of work to find out that person no longer works at that organization, but that was new news.
Right.
Like it was just such a like industry, and it changed so much. I just finally just got out of it. Like my husband's like, "What are you doing?" When I was checking emails at 9 p.m. I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know, but I need to do something. The idea of being a stay-at-home mom was there. Dan's like, that would be great for you. I'm like, no, it would not.
You're like, actually, Dan.
Are you serious? Like I could stay at home as long as I have an office and I'm working from home. But I think he understood as much as I understood that there was that greatness had still yet to come out of me. And I'm 44 years old. So if you have listeners that are younger and they're wondering, like, it doesn't matter how old you are, it doesn't. And in fact, the older you are at starting something, hopefully you have more wisdom and you have a bigger community. So it's easier.
Right.
Who knows?
Who knows?
You can't be great at anything unless you actually coincide, build the confidence to do the thing, whatever it is that you want to do.
Right. And so would you say that when you're saying you can't be great at anything without building it, right? Is that the same with confidence in your experience? You had to build it like a habit and get there? Yeah.
Yeah, confidence is built.
Yeah.
Confidence is earned.
Right.
You don't just show up when there's people that are prodigies 100%. And I really hope that everyone can just tap into that part of them at some point in their lives where you see like these 4 or 5-year-old kids that just can rock a drum set. Like you're like, where are you a reincarnated rock star?
Right.
Like you have to be. There's no way you just know this. And I believe that they possibly are. But the confidence is built on the evidence that shows up every single day that you can do it.
Right.
The confidence is built on the proof, on the case studies, on the way that people talk about you, about the thing that you do and the thing that you're good at. Mm-hmm. But there's a whole hierarchy or framework that I've identified that has helped people come to the top and peak of their confidence. And we can go through that if you like.
I would love to. Yeah. And before you do, I'd love to just, highlight what you just said about, we can believe for years, for 30 years or whatever you believed your story with your nose, right? If you can believe it for 30 years, you can also believe the new story, and it becomes finding the evidence for the new story to then create that new pathway, right? So that's powerful. I want to know the framework. Tell me. Yes.
Yeah. And so, and this came out of me, like this framework was just like, when you hear these stories of authors just writing their book in like one big dump.
Yeah, it's like, boom, it came to them.
How? It's like they were just plugged into source consciousness and it's like download.
Yes.
That's kind of like this framework.
Okay.
And when I was done and I looked, because I have this gigantic whiteboard on the other side of this camera, it gave me goosebumps. I'm like, this is so simple. Holy crap. Why have I not talked about this before? Mm-hmm. Because I need to live the experience in order to be the one to teach it.
Right.
So kind of like how you went through this crazy part of your life and becoming sober and recognizing like when you hit rock bottom, you're like, can't go back. Look at all the damage I made. And now it's time to repair. Right. But now you can be this beautiful example of what it's like to be on the other side of this.
Right.
And really, if you're on this path to sobriety or whatever it is, sometimes the best advice is from somebody who has gone through it. Because they know the war wound, they know the feelings, they know the temptations, they know this ghost, these like shackles that cuff you every single time you're triggered by something.
Right.
And so for me, creating this hierarchy is the same thing as like, right, I had to live this in order to be able to teach this.
Right. And I think people do, almost like you said at the beginning of this call, if we compare it to say what people tell me about sobriety is they say, oh, I want to be at that place. Well, you don't get to that place without building the habits, without building the new identity of being the person who shows up at a party and doesn't drink. So without building the identity of being the person who shows up and is confident, it's all similar. Right?
That's the thing. It's the identity. It's like I don't drink. That's the easiest thing to say. And nowadays, holy crap, like that comes with so much respect. I don't know, I guess it depends on who you surround yourself with. But I can imagine that you have a great group of friends because you're here and you're healthy. And
Yeah,
you're like
for
an
sure.
advocate for this. So you have a circle of people that will help you protect that, knowing that this is what you're shifting into. And environment is everything, people are everything. When I launched the Pink Skirt Project, I was like, here's the vision. People are like, yeah, I know you can't just launch with a 300 plus person event. Who does that? I'm like, I do.
I do.
That's going to be me. So y'all can F off because I'm going to do this. And I did.
You did it. I know.
I did it. And who am I to be the person that's going to have 400 episodes on a podcast?
Right.
Like, I did it.
Yeah.
And I also had 2 babies in the same year as launching an agency. Don't recommend doing that.
A
at all.
7-figure agency, right? Like, yeah.
Yes. Oh, yeah. We hit
just
$1
do
million.
it. Yeah.
Yeah. So there's a lot of like can'ts because not too many people have done it before. But when you lead with like the intuition, that conviction that you can, like that's the strongest thing. I talk about how you make decisions from your head, your heart, or your gut.
Yeah.
And your head decisions are very analytical. They're like linear, like from how do I get from A to Z, the quickest way, the cheapest way. The heart decision is really based on how you think other people are going to feel, other people's opinions. But the intuition that hit that comes and it's so like visceral, that is where we need to be making more decisions.
Totally.
Screw the patriarchy, screw what is expected of us.
Yeah.
Sometimes screw the rules. Maybe even
Yes.
some laws. Not suggesting you go break laws. But what I'm
didn't hear
saying is
it.
that
Yeah.
you can't be that version of you, the 10.0 version of you, without understanding that you're going to have to go against the grain in some areas of your life. You will disappoint people. You will upset people. You will offend people. That's the worst one. You are going to offend people because
Right.
God forbid you stop breastfeeding your baby at 3 months old.
Right.
That offends people. It's like, that's
Yeah.
none of your goddamn business, woman.
Yeah. No, for sure.
But anyways, so coming back to this rich girl energy hierarchy. So think about like
Right.
Maslow's hierarchy of needs.
Okay.
On the very bottom is this thing called convicted. So this whole like hierarchy, think of it as a jail, and you slowly are like getting released from jail.
Okay.
So the bottom part is the convicted. So you're living according to others people's expectations. You're like doing the thing. Maybe you become a teacher and you work like 8 to 3 every day because that's what your mom was, and then her mom was that, and you're just going the course.
Yeah.
No disrespect for teachers, but just saying, like
Yeah.
like the lawyers' kids have to be lawyers, the doctors' kids want to be doctors. So, like, where are you living in conviction? As in, like, you're behind jail. You aren't actually like this isn't even the scariest part because you don't even know that you're doing this. You're stuck in this perpetual loop of despair.
Right.
You don't know
And
you're here.
super subconscious even. You're just in it, right?
Yeah, like something feels, you don't know what it is, but you're like, wait, I have a great life. I have a roof over my head. I have a loving family. I have cars. I have a doctor. What could possibly be wrong with my life?
Right.
Right? That's like lack of abundance mindset. You're like, doesn't even exist. It's in a locked drawer somewhere.
Yeah.
And then you get this glimmer of hope. You start to see evidence. You start to see proof. You start to see, wait a second. That other woman over there, she's also living a pretty great life, but she's not fulfilled. And now she's starting to do something. She goes to yoga every morning at 6 a.m. and she seems to be happier. She joined a book club. Why all of a sudden is she doing all this stuff? And this is the stage that's called the conscious awareness.
Okay.
So this is like the worst stage to be in because you are realizing that you're stuck.
Right. You're like realizing you haven't woke up yet to what you can do.
Yeah. And you're like,
Oh,
oh,
boy.
crap. Like, I want to do that, but I don't feel like I can. Or like the stay-at-home mom who wants to work but lives this beautiful life. And she's like, but my kids are happy and healthy and I get to be home with them. Isn't this the dream?
So
Yeah,
is
not
it
your
kind of
dream.
like the intuition coming online where you're like, I know there's a knowing within me that's deeper of what I'm meant to do?
It's consciousness.
Yeah.
It's like you're really conscious about a life outside of being in this jail.
Okay.
Okay. And like, I'm going to premise this by saying there's a lot of people that go through this that have beautiful lives.
Of course.
This is all about the abundance mindset. It's like you can have what you want in life, but you have to believe that you can do it.
Right.
So now you're like in this stage of conscious awareness, you're looking around thinking there's so much opportunity. Where do I start? How do I even tap into this? And that's when you start doing the things. It's like that feeling in your body. You're like, okay, maybe I do want to start yoga too, but I don't know if that's a thing for me.
Right.
So this is where the shift moves, like the shift that moves you out of this part where you're like in jail, the guards show up. The guards have been keeping you in jail for the longest time. And finally you're like, no, honey, I'd like to go for that extra recess right now. I want to go outside and see the sunlight.
Right.
So the guards open the jail for you. This is realizing that your imperfect action beats perfect inaction every single day.
Right.
So just doing something, anything.
One
There's
small
glimmers
step.
of hope here. You're inspired by something, but you're not doing the thing yet. Right? You're in perpetual research mode. Sometimes people get stuck in this cycle of always taking courses, right? Or always just relaunching something because the last launch failed, but you never really marketed it.
Right.
It's like they're just throwing grenades into their life because it can't be that good. There's no way that I can feel like I deserve this. You have massive energy leaks. You're playing small. This is like the dangerous middle.
Right.
And then you're like, wait, I need to get out of this. This sucks. What do I got to do next? So questions for you in this moment. There's a lot of people that are stuck here is think about like something that you've been researching for longer than it would have taken you to actually just do it.
Right.
Like meal planning,
Right.
right? Or like
Yeah.
finally going to your next door neighbor to tell him how much you hate the whatever plants that are in between your yards. Like, I don't know. But like
Yeah.
building up the courage to actually go and do something about this.
Right. Versus just ruminating on it, thinking about it, building resentment towards it, staying stuck in the loop of it happening. Right.
Oh, and that's it. This is like if you always feel resentful,
Yeah.
like you're mad at somebody, how dare they get those extra, hours off at work, or how dare they get to go on these cool trips and I don't. Like that resentment is actually just the world holding up a mirror to yourself. Like, hey, honey, that's triggered you. Why? Let's double click on this thing. What is it about this situation that is bugging you?
What is it reflecting back about you? For sure. Yeah.
Because you want it.
Yeah.
You want it, but you don't know how to get there. And then you start, and you can dip in and out of any of these stages too.
Okay.
Because sometimes you can end up falling back into the conviction or the convicted. And
Right.
you can stay stuck there again because it's comfortable, it's familiar. You're not even going to question things again. And you're like, I'm just going to come back to this. So, people relapse. They come back to this.
Yeah.
They were tested too much and now they can't take it. They're back into this stage in their life. So now we're at conscious awareness and we're doing the work to get out of it.
Right.
Now it's like the trial. Like you're going to court.
Okay.
You're going to court. This part's called clarity.
Okay.
So you're discovering who you really are and what you truly want. So in life, like for me, this was, I wanted to get that nose job. And now I was like, I shared it with Dan and he didn't want me to do it. I don't know why at first. I should probably ask him. But I was like, I just need you on board. I know is going to be a massive difference for me. Can you just please be on board?
Right. Okay.
So this is where you put your entire life under a microscope.
Right.
And you ask the questions like, who are you when you strip away all the roles, all the titles, all the expectations? Who are you really?
Right.
Because
Yeah.
when someone asks you, who are you, Alex? You're like, I'm a, so-and-so and I do this and I do that. But you're like, who are you really? People ask me, who am I? I'm like, I'm a mother, I'm a wife. No, you're
Right.
not that. Like it's really, who are you? People don't even ask this. Who are you?
Who am
Alex?
I?
Yeah,
Am
who are
I?
you?
I mean, I would say that I'm a truth teller, as truth speaker, and somebody who believes in, living a life of truth. That's who I am now. But it's taken me a while to get there. Like, it's taken me a while to believe it, and it's taken me a while to embody it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But now you get to be this voice. And it's kind of like, this is the part, like in the business, when you're going through this in business, when you really start to answer the question, not like, what do you do?
Right.
Like you go to a business networking event, people are like, yeah, what do you do? It's kind of like the cliched question because they just want to get insight into like what business you're operating.
Mm-hmm.
But this is where you can get very clear on this. Like you're like, I'm a truth teller. People are like, what? Well, what does that mean? Tell me more. It's really interesting. So you can go through this whole framework personally, through your business, as a team. There's so many frameworks and or ways of using this. So now that your life's under a microscope, you're asking who you are really. This is where you actually start to build the courage to do the things and create something a little bit more sustainable and repeatable, create the discipline to try something. And this could be like taking up drum classes. This could be, in business, this is like maybe where you hire your executive assistant. This could be maybe where you fire somebody on your team.
Right.
So that clarity is like the trial. You're spreading out all the evidence of this proof of how you have and deserve a life of abundance.
So what was it for you that you felt?
And the clarity?
Yeah, and clarity.
Oh, that I had this confidence and this ability for like the Pink Skirt Project energy in me. And it was like the nose was the last thing that just needed to go.
Okay.
Literally.
Last
Gone.
thing that need to go. Yeah.
Needed to go.
Yeah.
But also, like, it's confidence stacking.
Yeah.
It's like building those like little bits of confidence every day because even though I'm mostly healed, like there's still old stories that kind of dip back in.
Yeah.
That, oh, you're not smart enough. Oh, you're not a go-getter enough. You're not disciplined enough to actually achieve this. So, like, why are you doing this?
But do you find, Renee, that, like, I don't know what your experience with that is, but for me, the more I feel like I build into, say, the new identity, or the more I build into the person that I believe who I am under all the layers, the easier it is to almost feel that other part come in where you're like, oh, there's that old part that you still run the show. The one that was like, you aren't good enough. And now I find the recovery from that is so much quicker. It's like, oh, I hear you now. Thanks, move over. Like we're in the driver's seat now.
Like, excuse me, honk your horn.
Yeah.
Get out of the way, bitch.
Yeah.
Because
Move
we're
to the
going to
back.
go faster.
Yeah.
Get to the back of the bus.
Yeah.
Yeah. And also, so like coming into the next level is level 4, which is conviction. So you're like, you have conviction.
Okay.
And this is liberation. This is like emotionally raw liberation because you're like literally saying bye to that old version of yourself.
Right.
You're saying bye to something that was just so familiar to you,
Yeah.
whether it was good or bad.
Right.
And now you're stepping into this new identity, this new person. And it is uncomfortable because now it's like, oh, I want to stay here. I need to maintain all these things or else I'm going to go back to there. And I
Right.
don't want to do that. But the cool thing about the stage 2 is knowing that more people are more afraid of losing something they already have than to gaining something new.
Right.
So
Straight line.
exactly. They don't want to go back to that person.
No.
They want to hold on to this moment right here. I don't want to lose this. It's kind of like the person who's lost the last 20 pounds and they finally did it and they're there and they go out for a big feast with their friends and they look at all this food and they're like, no,
can't go back.
I'm not that person.
Right.
And it's hard because they want to celebrate
yeah.
and they don't. And they stay the course. They're disciplined. They're not that person anymore.
Right.
And that's the conviction. And the
Wow.
conviction is also saying no to the drinks that were offered or saying no to the dessert. And also people feel offended. But we're celebrating you. You should be eating this pizza and this cake.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, for sure.
But in this stage, the knowing of who you are
yes.
trumps any sort of pressure to do anything else. And also sitting there at that table knowing, gosh, I probably will not be invited to dinner with these people ever again.
Right.
Right?
But being okay with that. Yeah, for sure.
Being
It's
okay
like
with
being rooted in your knowing of what you need.
Exactly.
And in that moment. Yeah.
This is you drafting the ultimate blueprint to take a chance on yourself.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then,
And sharing it with the world.
and at conviction, is that kind of when you've reset the new pattern, or is there one more level, or is it like
Well, it's like,
conviction?
oh, there's another level.
Oh, tell me more.
So this is like the becoming, this is the unshakable belief.
Yeah.
It's freedom from others' definitions and expectations.
Okay.
So level 5 isn't even the last level.
Oh, okay.
So this level is confidence.
Yeah.
This is the momentum builder. This is showing up consistently, creating momentum, and constantly building proof. Like at this point now, your proof and wins folder exceeds all the doubts you've ever had.
I like that.
You're
Yeah.
like, yep, this is like we're all gonna fail again at something. We're gonna fail. It's true. It's just inevitable.
Yeah.
But your conviction is already there, and it's so strong that it doesn't matter if you do fail, because you'll just course correct like that. Just up, boop. That was just a little bump in the road. Let's keep going
Little
this
blip.
way. Yep.
Yeah, I like that. I mean, and I think too, when at that stage, from what I'm hearing you say, like what I've found in that stage of a new identity is it's like the world is reflecting that back to you. So now the mirror that gets held up in your face, like one for me is maybe 6 months ago, I really let go of leading with a sword when I like just really sorting when I wanted to get my point across, like just coming from a kind of like a really swordish place. And now, as of late, all the time people say to me, and like, not, I don't want to always say it, but quite often I hear people reflect back things like, how did you learn to speak truth like that? Or, oh, the way you said that really got that person to listen. You were just so nice about it. And I said in a coaching container that I'm at, I'm like, I think I did it, guys. I think this is who I officially am now, because suddenly the world is holding up that mirror back to you instead of the old identity. It's like you're saying, the folder is bigger, just more data to show you.
And I love that you brought up the thing about the mirror too, because I always say triggers are simply somebody or something holding up a mirror to you. That's it, right?
Yeah.
So anything you're triggered at. But it also is a gentle reminder that you can look in the mirror at any moment, even while you're succeeding, which I suggest you do, and be so damn proud of yourself.
Right.
Because no matter where you are in the world, you have to be your biggest cheerleader.
Right. Yeah, for sure.
And you got
I
to just
love
look
that.
at yourself, be like, oh gosh, we did this. Holy crap, that was awesome. Way to go, girl.
Way to go.
Let's high five. So this is
Okay.
like the confidence is like you've built the evidence, you've created the momentum, and this is what really unlocks that next level. And this is much like you, where you are, because you've developed your unique voice and your approach.
Right.
So for me, it's like this framework.
Yeah.
And then the last of the level is the rich girl energy.
Okay.
This
Tell
is
me. I like this.
category of 1. This is like, you know, those people that just know what they're doing. They're so good at it. And they always have like, maybe it's like the woman that always wears like the big glasses and the red lipstick, and she becomes her own brand. And she
Right.
just speaks about the thing that she's so good at, just anywhere she goes. And she loves it. And she has no time for anybody else's BS. No
Right.
time for small talk. No time for talking crap about anybody or anything.
Yeah.
Because the energy is solely focused on abundance, because that whatever you focus on just keeps growing.
Yeah.
And so like a person who is in this level of rich girl energy, especially like those ultimate moments in their life, they won't even pay attention to the news. They won't even pay attention to the crap that's going on in the world, because
Right.
it won't serve her.
Wow.
So this is like abundance mindset. This is the epitome of that. Category of 1, you're the leader. This is when abundance actually becomes your natural state of being.
Right. When you're actually
Right.
flowing from like overflow, you're tapped in all things.
Yeah, it's like you're
Amazing.
you're overflowing. You're a goddamn fire hose. You're a fire hydrant. You're
Right.
Niagara Falls. You are
Niagara
Niagara Falls.
Yeah. I love it. Oh,
It's a category of 1.
wow.
So what's cool about this part in your life is that you make decisions faster. This is where most of like the really good leaders in our lives, this is how they operate. They operate from here all the time.
Right.
You feel deserving of everything, every situation, good or bad. You're not jealous. You don't compare. You don't compete.
Right.
You're a generous spirit. And this is these are the type of people that write big checks to charity and don't feel like they need to take credit for it. These are
Right.
people that just know that like you've got so much to give because you're so confident and you have conviction and you've let go of those old identities and those old stories, that just being on a 30-second elevator ride with that person warms you up.
Yeah.
And we need more of those people in this world. There's just something about being in their orbit, in their aura, that you're just like, this is so goddamn healing.
Right.
So it's just proof that we all need to be healing, not just for ourselves, but for everybody around us.
Yeah.
And you're doing it.
Wow. Well, thank you. And obviously you're doing it too. I mean, it's powerful stuff for sure. And yeah, I mean, thank you for sharing that whole hierarchy. That is powerful. And is that what you walk people through in, say, your society at the Pink Skirt Project? Do they go through this type of coaching?
We do like bits of this every single week.
Okay.
But I do rich girl energy sessions where I do
Oh,
one-on-one with people and they show up and the focus is on one thing in their life. Could be
yeah.
parenting, marriage, business. There's one thing that we need to get them unstuck and we wiggle out of it. It always comes down to the exact same thing no matter what happens.
Some like childhood wound that you have to heal.
It's fear of abandonment.
Yeah, that was my biggest wound too.
I'm
And
not
even,
surprised because it's
yeah,
everybody's.
it's everybody's.
It is the worst feeling that develops in childhood.
Yes.
Because as parents in our generation, so our parents
Yeah.
and parents before that, there's no shame or blame on any generation. But, you know, the Industrial Revolution, the feminist movement actually did us all a disservice. And that is why there's so many issues with younger kids today.
Right.
The new feminism is where it's at.
Yeah.
The new feminism is women demanding that they have all of the physical and emotional support at home when they have a newborn baby.
Right.
So that those first couple years, the mummy and the baby is the most important bond that you can ever have in your life, especially those first couple years.
Right.
It is a partner's duty to make sure that they're protected at all times. And I think this is where the feminists say, we don't need men. Okay,
we do.
sure, right? We do.
Yeah,
We do need
we
our
do.
partners or whomever's in our life at this point. And it also really forced women to go back to work when the paycheck wasn't necessary. It was just to prove our worth, prove our value.
Yeah.
Just being a woman, just doing whatever the heck we want to do, as long as we're good people, we're still valuable.
100%.
Even if you don't want to have babies.
Oh, yeah.
Even if you don't want to have babies.
Even if you don't want to have babies. And like it's getting out of that, exactly what you just said, that proving energy, which is really just like that whole masculine energy anyway, of proving, of, you know, standing up in there and saying, I'm a boss or I'm doing this, like, versus being in the energy of receiving or the energy of abundance, the energy of just flow.
So
It's
think
just such
about
a powerful place.
this for a new mother or a mother
Yeah.
with a newborn baby, because the woman who is a mother that is stuck in as a like convict essentially at the bottom
Right. Yeah.
is only going to perpetuate the beliefs and values that was instilled upon her. She won't question anything. And that was what was the problem with our parents' generations, and now we're coming out of it, was they never questioned anything.
Right.
It is what it is. That's they're like, oh, you know, husband goes to work 9 to 5 and I'm with the kids all day. And he comes home and I cook him dinner and he goes and smokes his cigar in the cigar room with the boys and then goes to bed. Just is
Right.
what it is.
Yeah.
Right? Because that's
Yeah.
how everyone else is living, which is wrong. Which is wrong.
Yeah.
So for the mothers, when they start to believe in this abundance, then they'll start to say, hey, I need this safe space, honey, and this is what I need from you. And this is what you're going to do. And then that woman can sit in that safe, protected environment and just be. Just
Right.
be. Just rest. Just do what she needs to nurture her baby, to nurture the home, to make it like a safe space for her kids. That's what a good mother does.
Creates that safe space, that connection.
Yeah, but you can't get there unless you feel like you deserve it. You
Yeah.
can't get there if you're lacking an abundance mindset.
Yes. I mean, yes, an abundance mindset, I think, is what part of it comes down to 100%. Yes. Because even, it does, we do it so, like you said at the beginning, subconsciously that we don't even know we're doing it. Right. And I think even for me recently, I took on a job because I was trying to contain some finances and some stuff started happening. And it was the first time I realized that I actually said, well, if I let go of this job, I'll only have to make up this much income because I had this other gig. And I thought, whoa, even Alex of like 4 months ago would have said, oh, it's going to be so hard to make up this thing. And all I saw was the actual flip. And it felt like a powerful place to be because it was coming from, oh, I can create this. Oh, there's enough everywhere. Whatever you believe in, God, source, universe, like if you just trust that like there is a higher power that's got you,
Yeah.
then boom,
Yeah.
it's amazing.
Yeah. And also like in all of this too, when you look at like your trials and getting this clarity and asking, who are you really? Like, and also asking yourself, who are you not to do this thing? When we're as individuals perpetually on this journey to be healed, to heal ourselves, like going through the icky part, we naturally heal next generations.
Right.
And then those generations after that.
For sure.
So it's like, this is the work we need to be doing all the time. And it could be like dabbling in something for 5 minutes each day. Maybe it's reading books. Maybe it's like really going out in nature and just being there with no stimulation, unprocessed thoughts, and just thinking about what do I really want in this life?
Yeah.
And creating a plan.
Creating a plan and executing it. I mean, we are the designers of our life, right? So we can create our life. We can create a reality. So follow the good thoughts. Follow the
Yeah,
ones
and
that
there's
are.
and the people fear those transition periods.
Yeah.
Because that's like the uckiness, right? Like for you becoming sober, there's these transition periods between making the decision, holding on for, the first few months were probably diabolical in your world and all the stories that you had to share.
Right.
And people don't like those moments because that's the most uncomfortable thing. But then when you start to see glimmers of hope, right? Weight loss journey is another one. Oh, like I decided I want to lose 20 pounds today. And to do it sustainably takes probably 6 months. And it's a big transition, but it's a life change completely.
Yeah.
And people are so afraid of what those months are going to feel like and look like and the commitments and the discipline
Yeah.
and the promises they make to themselves.
Right. And then if you
That's
break the promise to yourself, right? It's like, I mean, who we are, it's almost not even the goal. It's like, who do you become in the process of reaching your goal, right? And
it's never the destination.
it's
Always the
never
journey. It
always
is
the
about the
journey.
becoming. Who are you becoming in this moment today, right now?
Yeah.
Because think about like if you sat in front of your 80-year-old self
Yeah.
and she's holding your hands, what is she saying to you?
Right.
Is she proud? Is she upset? Does she have advice? Did she say you should have done that? You could have done that? Or is she like, girl, we did it.
Yeah, we
Did it.
lived our best life. Yeah.
Like,
I hope.
think about that moment. Like, look
Yeah.
in the mirror and picture that woman, you being 80 years old, or your man,
Yeah.
whomever's listening, and be like, are you proud of me? Did we do it? What was the hard part? Are we past it?
Right.
Like, just think about how proud that person, that version of you is going to be if you actually decide to break free of a jail of a life that you might be living in. Or it even could be just like a job you don't like or a part of your body you don't like.
I love that. Yeah. And I think, was it Dan who said in his talk at your Pink Scarf Project, like there's two people in our life that's reminding me of this, that we should always ask advice from your 8-year-old self and your 80 or 90-year-old self or whatever, like your oldest and because those are the people that matter. Like you're saying on the end of your deathbed, what is that woman saying to you or reflecting back to you? It's powerful stuff.
Yeah, I mean, even just think like standing there, like if everyone can just, if you're not driving, close your
Yeah.
eyes and you're standing there holding the hands of that 80-year-old version of you and the 8-year-old version of you, right? This 8-year-old version of you is just looking up at you. And she's like, how are we going to do this? Like, what's next? What is the next step? right? And then the 80-year-old version is like, it's okay, just take it.
Yeah,
Just
I
do
love
it.
that. I can totally picture that.
Right.
That's
And so then
wild.
you're kind of you're being brought forward by the older version, and you're holding tight to that young, innocent kid next to you who is just so full of joy and already so full of abundance, right? Not knowing that life could potentially take that away from them. And then
Yeah.
just be the example for that next generation. And it's actually a beautiful exercise.
That is a beautiful exercise. That's amazing. Thank you, Renee. I love that. And tell us a bit about everyone should sit home, and I'm going to take a pause because I tend to run ahead, but take a pause and definitely try that. I mean, I can picture that in my mind, that when I close my eyes there, that 8-year-old that you're holding on to and the 80-year-old. And just to even do that every once in a while sounds incredibly powerful.
Oh,
For
yeah.
sure. Yeah. And tell us a bit about, when this next Pink Skirt project is, how people can sign up for like a rich girl energy session, how they can get involved in
Yeah.
your society, all of it. Yeah.
So obviously would love to see you guys in the room. It's next year. Pinkskirtproject.com is where you can go.
Okay.
July 9th and 10th in Kelowna, BC. We're just still dotting the I's of the venue,
Okay.
but it's going to be a bigger place than the Metro. We loved the Metro. And it's just such an exquisite event. It's going to be bigger and louder and bolder next year. And if they're interested in our coaching program, it's called The Society. So they can go to thepinkskirtproject.com/society
Okay.
or follow me on Instagram, Renee_Warren. If you have any questions about any of this stuff or you want to learn more, I'm here for you.
I love that. Yeah, that's amazing. I mean, I'm excited for you, Renee. I'm excited to also hear about your world tour that you're going on, following along that in Instagram. And I've really enjoyed this conversation. And I love that. And I know I said this to you after the Pink Skirt, but you really embody, everything that you're speaking of. And when you got up there on that stage at Pink Skirt, I was like, wow, this is Renee in her magnetism. This is Renee, like in her confidence, in her power, doing the thing. And it was so incredibly powerful to witness. So, anybody out there thinking, oh, I can't do the thing, like we can all
We can all
step
do
into
this thing.
ourselves.
There
We can
were
all do
so
it.
many people in that room who have
Yeah.
never been to an event like that, didn't know anybody in that room, showed up alone and scared.
Right.
And within minutes, they're like, wait a second, every single person in this room is my sister.
Right.
And they just felt so seen and heard. And that's exactly what we tried to do. And we accomplished it because
You did it.
it's table stakes to have great keynote speakers. And we had some incredible people come in and rock that
Yeah.
stage. But it was about the vibe in that room. Just
yeah.
thinking like your environment is your number one indicator of success or failure.
Right.
And that room was for people to live a rich and healthy and happy life.
Yeah. I could feel it. Like the energy of that room was powerful.
Yeah.
So
yes.
I'm excited for the next one. And and I'm grateful that you were able to, make time in between getting ready for your world travels to be here, and excited to follow your journey and appreciate all the insight that you gave about, I love the whole hierarchy and all of it. So the
Thank you.
journey. So
It was
thank
fun.
you.
Well, Alex, thank you so much for having me.
Yeah. And we'll see you soon. Okay. I'll put all your links down there too. Okay. Thanks, Renee.
Thanks, Alex.